It's a good time to be a Spider-Man fan. Well, mostly. Ultimate Spider-Man is ending, but besides that stuff, it's great. We got a new Spider-Man movie coming out this year. Beyond the Spider-Verse is 1 year away and a few months. The current Spider-Man run is actually pretty alright if you ask me. Spider-Man got a buff in Marvel Rivals. Please don't nerf him next season, Guang Guang, I'm begging you. And his new show is dropping, or season 2 of his show. Which is why I don't want to complain, because I feel like as a Spider-Man fan, we can go through so many years without content, especially good content. But now, stuff's actually pretty good. But my opinions on Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the more I watched it, the more my opinions have kind of changed. I watched it when it first came out, completely binge-watched it, and at first I thought it was a pretty alright show. Actually, scratch that, I thought it was a good show. I liked the characters, I liked the art style, and I just liked the storyline of the show. But on a rewatch, and another rewatch, I kind of realized that when I first watched this show, I put it in like top 3 Spider-Man shows for me. But the more I rewatched it, I just realized this show has a ton of issues that I just want to talk about. Now, even though the show has issues, I still kind of like it. I still don't think it's top 3 in my opinion. It's more like a top 4 Spider-Man show maybe. But the issues that I want to talk about, I'm not just going to criticize the show for stuff like it not being fully accurate to the comics or... Well, I am, but not the way most people would expect. Like for me, comic accuracy isn't everything, and I like aspects of this show that I feel like they did actually pretty well. Like I said, when I first watched it, I actually really enjoyed it, and it was a top 3 Spider-Man show for me. But now, having rewatched it again for like the 10th time, I can safely say that's not the case anymore, because so many aspects of this show they don't go as well. When this show was first announced, plenty of people already started critiquing it, mostly just because of the look of the show. And I was a fan of the look of the show when people were talking about how it looked bland and cell shading wasn't that good and everything. I don't know what they were talking about. I thought from the beginning, the show already looked good. I would have liked the show to be a 2D animated Spider-Man show instead of 3D with cell shading on it. Especially when you look at the main character designer from the show, Leo Romero, his art. It's like, it looks so much better and I think it would have been better if it was 2D animated. But that's just a little nitpick for me. It doesn't affect the quality of the show. But a lot of people hated the way the show looked. And I was never one of them. I always thought the show looked pretty alright. I liked the comic book aesthetic. The character designs seemed classic yet modern. And overall, everything, I just like the way how they translate the 60s art style, but animated in a 3D setting with, motion. It's cool to see these characters' moves, and I think the animation is also pretty well done. In my opinion, it's way better than another Spider-Man show I talked about recently. Another thing I like about this show is how a lot of the villains are actually Spider-Man villains, unlike the MCU, where a lot of villains felt like they came from Iron Man or whatever. Scorpion, he's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains of all time, and seeing him get adapted, while he's not 100% comic accurate the way he was in the 60s comics or 70s, he's still cool, and he's cool, and I like the way how they portrayed him, and he's actually a threat. He's a menace. His design also, although he doesn't have his fully cybernetic or, fully classic comic book suit, his design looks so cool because it's like they take his goofy stuff that he had from the original comics and they make it work in this, and I like it. And unlike the MCU, a lot of the side characters are actually pretty interesting and fun to watch. Although they're not accurate, again, accuracy isn't everything. They're fun to watch, and I like seeing the side characters, especially Lonnie. He's probably my favorite out of all of them. Now I'm gonna get into stuff I don't really like about this show. First thing, I don't know why they keep doing this for Spider-Man, but I hate the billionaire sugar daddy type situations they keep putting Spider-Man into. It's not like it's that I hate it completely, but I feel like it's so much worse when Spider-Man relies on the technology and resources from another person, another rich guy like Tony Stark, and in this show it's Norman Osborn, instead of instead of making all this stuff himself. He makes his web shooters himself, but it's like his suit, all his resources, everything, it comes from Oscorp. And I don't like that. I don't like Spider-Man having to rely on other people for technology and stuff like that. It's one of my main complaints from the MCU Spider-Man, and they put it in this show as well. I don't know why they didn't just give him the opportunity to make this stuff himself, to show Peter actually making his web shooters himself, making, I don't know, maybe his moving lenses by himself, making his suit by himself. And it's not like he didn't design his suit, he did. And they even show it early on in the show that he has sketches of his costume, but he doesn't make it himself. Harry shows the sketches to some Oscorp employees, I'm pretty sure, and they make it themselves. And I don't know why Peter can't just do things on his own. I'm not saying he can't have friends by his side or people who support him, but they should support him. He shouldn't rely too much on their resources for his Spider-Man stuff. Also, Peter Parker's characterization. Now, I just want to make it clear, I think every voice actor in the show, every VA did an amazing job voicing their characters. We even have, like, I think the main man who voices Spider-Man, I think he also does a great voice. He does sound a little bit like a mix between Tom Holland, but I feel like he grows into his own Spider-Man by the end of the show. Like, it's an okay Spider-Man voice. But his characterization, Peter Parker's characterization specifically, it just sucks. Now, I got nothing, like I said in one of my previous videos, against a dorky, quirky, nerdy Spider-Man or whatever. Although it gets tiring the more they keep doing it, like friendly, nerdy, dork Spider-Man. It works in this show, but Peter is extremely stupid. And it's like they showcase his smarts whenever he's talking with Norman about, like, when they were tracking Otto, spoiler warning, in the show, and he does science stuff, and we see Peter do science stuff, and I think that's cool. But other than that, he just sucks. He's stupid. His identity gets revealed at the beginning of the show because this dumbass changed his clothes in a building with cameras. What if one security guard saw the cameras and just called Norman Osborn or figured it out? He is so stupid. Like, I cannot stress enough how dumb Peter is in this TV show. And not to be mean, like, it sounds like I'm just criticizing or being mean about it, but I genuinely don't understand how he's this stupid. He makes stupid decisions which lead to his identity getting revealed. There's this one scene where after he was trying on some suits from Norman and he gets the Oscorp suit from the TV show. I also don't like the fact that Uncle Ben died before Peter became Spider-Man. Now, I know the showrunner said, like, this Peter is using the lessons he learned from Uncle Ben to be a good crime fighter and stuff, but I think it just doesn't work as well as his original origin story. Not that I'm against change, but it's not been working for me. Because previously, Uncle Ben died because Peter did something wrong. He messed up, and he learned that with great power comes great responsibility, and that he needed to use his powers responsibly. But in this show, I don't know what motivates Peter to choose to become a hero. He does talk about it a little bit, but we don't see him say the "with great power comes great responsibility" line. There was this one scene in one of the episodes where he was calling Nico or sending a voicemail, and he was this close to saying it, this close, but yet they still don't say anything about it. And I don't know why Peter would put himself in danger, especially when you see what happens in the show after he gets completely squashed by the Scorpion. He still chooses to become Spider-Man. I do like that they showcase in a fight scene with him and Scorpion that Peter is still a teenager and he's still a kid, and we see him get scared when he sees Scorpion, and I like that. I like stuff like that. But I feel like if he's so scared and if he is still a kid, why does he choose to put himself in danger? Why does he do it? It's admirable. Matter of fact, it's a heroic thing to do, but I don't see his motivation for doing it. Even though it makes his life harder, he still chooses to do it. One thing about this show also is that Peter, his entire side cast is different from what like there's no Mary Jane, there is a Harry Osborn, but overall, like, his entire side cast, the side characters, while they're all good, they're not really like Spider-Man characters. They're not a part of the Spider-Man mythos. Like, we don't have J. Jonah Jameson or the Daily Bugle. No Betty Brant. We don't have for some reason Amadeus Cho is also in this show. And they just have a whole bunch of random Marvel characters as Peter his sidecast instead of just regular people. And I don't know why they did this exactly. I heard the showrunner say it's because he likes the characters and he wants to put them in the show, which I feel like it's just wrong. It's one thing to like a character and maybe put them as a cameo, for example, but it's another thing to put them as main side characters in the show with Peter as a character. I don't like that because why? This change feels not a change made for to better the story or to be there for a better story or to enhance the story. It just feels like a random, I don't know why they did it type of change. It feels useless. I know that Midtown High gets destroyed at the beginning of the show, which leads to, Peter transferring to a new school. But I don't know why. There's no Flash Thompson as well. It's like they just replace his entire sidecast with a whole bunch of random Marvel characters, which is good because then you don't know. You can't be predictable. But it's bad because it's like, why put random Marvel characters? You could have just replaced the sidecast because there's changes they make in this show that are actually cool. Like Tombstone being one of Peter his classmates before he turns into, Tombstone. And that feels like a good change. It feels like a change that's actually beneficial to make the story better and more emotional. But then you have changes like his best friend being Nico, Pearl, and just a whole bunch of other characters that he meets throughout the show that I just don't understand why they would replace his main sidecast. Even though we do get Harry and some classic Spider-Man villains, it still feels like just weird. It feels like they just changed it because they wanted to change it and not a change made out of love and respect for the source material. The final thing I hate about this show is the way Peter gets his powers. I don't know why they even, again, these changes they make, I don't know why, but it feels so useless and overcomplicates it. Something that's just as simple as, wrong place, wrong time, he gets bitten by a spider. It was a complete accident and everything. They turn it into this Ben 10 type time loop situation where the spider gets his blood and the spider time travels back and that's how it bites him and it leads to all these events. It's like, it's so unnecessary. The best way I can describe this show is this show feels like a what if episode or full on what if series for Spider-Man. It feels like they took concepts from every single Spider-Man adaptation you can think of. A lot from Tom Holland, a lot from the PS4 games, a lot from this. Like, they take so many concepts, but they don't work when you put them all together in one show. And it's even worse because the Watcher makes an appearance too at the end of the show. I'm still excited for season 2 to see where they're going to bring these characters. But after seeing the announcement that Gwen Stacy is going to make an appearance and that she's also probably going to be Spider-Gwen, I don't know how I feel about that, bro. I hope season 2 is good or better than season 1 at least. If I had to rate the season, I would definitely say it's definitely a 6 out of 10 show and season for Spider-Man. It's a good show still. But yeah, that's kind of my opinions on the show. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for the support, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.